Well, g'day, it's Jono Brake here from The Forge Leader, and it's time for Monday Myth Check, where we're going to talk about the fact that more meetings equals better communication. Now remember, this is a myth check. And so the bottom line is that most meetings are a waste of time. And most of your people feel like that, and unfortunately you keep running them and you keep thinking you're communicating better when you're not. So it's not that you ditch meetings altogether, but we've got to think about this a little bit at the moment. So what could be the possible reasons why more meetings doesn't always equal better communication? Well, let's first of all look at information overload. Too many meetings, they flood employees or team members with information. They make it harder to retain key details. They feel like, that the meetings are kind of like an update rather than actually something useful where we get together and we can use combined skills and so forth to really move something forward. The other thing is that people just get meeting fatigue. They've got things to do. They've got stuff that they need to get on with. And quite frankly, they're often sitting there going, hey, this could have been an email, or this could have been a text message, or this could have been maybe a smaller group or something like that. And so that's a couple of the other reasons. The third reason why I think that more meetings don't always equal better communication is that often meetings are left like we've had a meeting, there haven't been really clear action items set. There's no clear, like, what are we going to do? How do we follow up? Do we follow up as a big group? Do we follow up as individuals? So there's all these sorts of things that go on. They're just three, and there are a bunch, okay? It was really interesting. Just last night I was at a dinner, and the lady presenting was this just incredible mind in terms of looking at different generations. And I'm Gen X, and so I do like face-to-face meetings, although I like them less than I used to, but I do like face-to-face meetings. I do like even being on Zoom or some kind of video call. But at the end of the day, there's a whole bunch of people that don't. But one of the things I don't like is turning up to a meeting where it's just an update. I could have had that on an email. I could have saved myself some time and responded to that email. So those sorts of things. So I'd maybe even say that's a fourth thing, is that if you're just using your meetings as an update, that's a problem. Okay. Now there's nothing wrong with doing updates, but make sure there are actions. Make sure there are things that you are stepping forward. So people go, yeah, that was really fruitful. You're using the brain trust that's in the room to really make a difference. So what's something that you could do? So this is where you could start to look at, we've got lots of stuff around shared documentation. We might have the equivalent of like a SharePoint or something internal in terms of how we share information, an internal kind of social media style thing like Slack or Discord or some of those things. We use Discord inside the Forge Mentor. And so some of these things can really help us in terms of just having some little interactions on the way through. But then, okay, there's a point where, okay, this conversation, we need to actually take this to a face-to-face meeting or onto Zoom or one of those things. And so these are specifically useful for updates. Meetings should never be just about updates. They should be about, you've got a brain's trust in the room. How do you move things forward? How do we make sure everyone's getting the same information? And if you find that there's a conversation going on where people are not gathering the information properly or not responding, then you got to make the corrective action to clean that up. So that's just what I wanted to look at today. A few reasons why more meetings doesn't always equal better communication, and the fact that poorly run meetings are a waste of time and energy for us. So something to think about today, the Monday Myth Check, more meetings equal better communication. I'm Jono Brake. As always, enjoy the journey.